Hello, thank you so much for joining us again on Business Realm. This is TV Kudirats. My name is Bola Omotayo, welcoming you on board again as we start Business Realm for today. Today is Sunday, the 11th day of July in the year 2021, and we are broadcasting from Nigeria. The topic today on Business Realm is the ideal price, the appropriate price. What price should you sell that which you have got to sell? You have something to sell. What price should you sell it? To answer that question, let's talk about a few factors surrounding the issue of price. There are factors around the issue of price because in any business, price is indeed a critical issue. Now, the first factor to consider is that price is a factor of competition. Everybody wants to sell cheap so that the other competitor does not send them out of business, because it is generally believed that consumers, customers, clients go to where the price is lower. So there's no doubt about that price is a factor of competition. But there's another factor that I would like you to consider, and this is the truth that the entrepreneur, that is you who owns the business, you are a factor of production. And remember that on the program we have treated the factors of production. 4 of them are capital, land, labor, and the entrepreneur. Those are the factors of production. And whatever you want to produce, whatever you want to sell, whatever business you are in, rests on these 4 factors: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. So you remember that I told you then that in fact the entrepreneur is the most important factor of production, because the idea of the business emanates from the entrepreneur, and his duty is, or her duty it is, to coordinate, in fact to bring to being, to bring to place the other factors of production and to coordinate them towards maximum productivity. So 2 very important factors around the issue of price. Remember, no doubt about that price is a factor of competition. People are afraid that if the prices offered by other businesses are lower than their price, it would negatively affect their business. We would know in the course of this presentation whether that is correct or not. The other factor I just mentioned as one of the factors surrounding the issue of price is that you, the entrepreneur, are the most important factor of production, and you coordinate other factors, labor, land, capital, whatever, to ensure that your business stays afloat, to ensure that your business stays afloat, to ensure that the boat of your business keeps sailing, to ensure that the boat of your business does not sink, to ensure that the boat of your business does not capsize. It is your duty as an entrepreneur. Now, how price affects the business? How does price affect your business? 1. Consumers are generally attracted to shops that offer items at cheaper rates, at cheaper prices. Buyers, consumers, customers, clients are generally attracted to the place where the prices are lower. Don't forget, we are discussing how the price affects your business. 1. Customers are generally attracted to where the price is lower. 2. Cheaper prices leads to higher customer traffic and sales. When you have a high customer traffic, people keep coming in and going out. Generally, it is assumed that the high rate of customer traffic will also generate higher sales for the business. 3, cheaper prices popularizes the business address. Everybody tells every other person that they should go to that address, they should come to your business because you are selling cheaper. Your price is low. Now, the question is, I just told you how price affects your business. People want the cheaper stuff. Prices popularize your business address, and cheaper price or popularize the business address, and cheaper price brings about high rate of customer traffic and consequently higher sales. Now, there are a few questions to answer. Is the cheaper price always the ideal price to sell? You have something to sell and you are selling it for 20 kobo, but someone else is selling it for 5 kobo. Is the 5 kobo the ideal price to sell? I don't know what your answer would be, but I think that the 5 kobo that the other shop is selling it is maybe the ideal price for that shop, and it may not be the ideal price for another shop, and you understand this better as we progress. Does selling at cheaper rates guarantee business prosperity? Well, it depends. If you are selling at cheaper rates and you are breaking even, that is, you are truly making profit, and after you break even, you truly make profits, how you manage the profit is another ball game, is another thing entirely. But in theory, we may say that, simply put, the answer would be that, of course, selling at cheaper rates may guarantee business if the business is truly making profits. Does selling at cheaper prices ensure business sustainability? Yes, once again, if the business is making profits at the price that it is selling, and the managers manage the profit well, of course, but business sustainability would follow. Does cheaper price translate to goodwill from customers? Well, most people who are seeking cheaper stuff there are a lot to say about them, but that someone meets you on the road and smiles is also goodwill. They like you, so as long as you don't have a quarrel with them, either you sell at lower price or higher price, the fact that you know one another, if you meet elsewhere and you recognize one another, some goodwill may follow. But what manner of goodwill would you get from people who are always seeking the cheaper stuff? That's the question. Now, if the answer to each of these questions is no, then why should selling at a cheaper price be your business goal? If the answer to the questions is no, or is yes, or is neither here nor there, let's ask the question: why should anybody's business goal be to offer commodities at cheaper rates? Be your business goal? Why should that be your business goal? Well, you can sell at any price. Any price is right, provided you make profit. Because the your main aim of being in business is to make profits. The duties of the entrepreneur in price administration. how you fix your price, and now you ensure that you record sales at the price that you are selling is what we refer to as price administration. And as an entrepreneur, what are your duties in price administration? The entrepreneur is a factor of production, like I said earlier, and in that edition where we actually discussed the 4 factors of production. And again, I repeat, the entrepreneur is the most important factor who formulates policies for the company. You know what you want for your company. You know the quality of staff that you want. I was listening to a video somewhere, and it's about a family, and there was a crisis in that family, and one of the nannies was being interviewed, and the nanny said that you have to be a graduate before you can tend a baby in that home. If you are anything less than a university graduate, you are not qualified to be a nanny in that house. So as an entrepreneur, when you are formulating your policies on staffing, what quality of staff, what quality of workers, what manner of workers do you want and do you employ? Stocking. It is also the entrepreneur who formulates a policy or policies around stocking, and that centers on the quality, the kind, the brands of good that you source or procure or produce to offer to your customers. It is the entrepreneur's duty to design or formulate policies around welfare of staff and client too. And you don't want to go and site your business in a place that is not secure, where your client will be afraid to visit or will not be comfortable visiting. It is the entrepreneur's duty to formulate policies on sourcing, on packaging, on pricing, on public relations. All of these policies have implications for your overheads. Your overheads refers to the money that you spend in running your business. You stock basically, then the cost of hiring a vehicle to transport the goods from the location to your shop, the cost of paying the laborers, the cost of electricity, the cost of water supply to the business location, the cost of ensuring that the road to the place is motorable, and so on and so forth. All of these represent your overheads. So all of these policies have implications for your overheads. For instance, a company that would not hire anybody lower than a university graduate may spend less on staffing, may spend less on salaries than a company who has in mind a particular standard as regards the kind of staff or workers that they hire. And when you hire graduates across board, you will not be paying the same amount on you will not be spending the same amount on your staff as somebody who can hire somebody who has never attended any primary school. Now, the cost of running your business basically is your overheads. Now, the policies are never the same for any two companies. I want a well-furnished office. Somebody else wants a super furnished office, and somebody else wants a royally furnished office, and somebody else doesn't even mind. All she wants is a space. So all of this would either add to increase or reduce your overheads, and that means the overheads will never be the same for two businesses. For instance, two companies that are selling the same kind of goods may not procure their stock from the same source. Someone sources from America, another sources from Dubai, another sources from China, and another discovers that why go to China? It's available in Lagos. Why another feels that Lagos is far away. It's actually available from the village where you live. You realize that it's actually exported from your village, and because you have your nose and your ears to the ground, you just go to the farmers who are producing that thing directly. So you won't spend on flight, you won't spend on hotel accommodation, you won't spend on a tour guide and all of that. And so that's that would naturally reduce your overheads. If the order from the same, if the two businesses order from the same source, for instance, the specifications may be different. They may not use the same packaging. Let's talk about the specification, for instance. There are some videos on here and there on the internet where you discover that some tomato puree dealers would go to Italy and tell them, I want ripe tomatoes without dents, without black spots, without rot, without any decay, and I want it packaged in 150-gram tins. And another company goes to China or elsewhere and tells them that I would like this tomato puree to be as thick as this brand produced in Italy, but you don't have to use good quality tomatoes. If there is anything you can do to ensure that the color looks exactly like the one from Italy, to ensure that the thickness is exactly like this, and then they introduce some deadly powder to you that will give it the thickness, and they also showed you some artificial coloring that will give you the bright color. And when they bring it, somebody says it's exactly like that. I don't want to mention any brand here, and people buy it. It may be cheaper, but at the end of the day, it may be deadly. So it is you, the dealer, who gives the manufacturer your specification when you feel that you will not be able to sell to profit if you go ahead to buy the quality that they made in Italy. So you run to China and you tell them to cut corners so that the appearance will look the same, but the actual ingredients will not be the same. So those who want the cheaper stuff would always come and they'll buy. And then it is only those who are conscious about what they eat, who reads about these brands, who have a way of finding out what's inside, who tests with some, if they have some reagents and they are that educated, those who listen to their body after eating whatever they eat and try to decode whatever their body is saying to them after they have consumed. It is only those who would say, the last time I ate that stuff, I wasn't feeling good, so I think I'll go back to that brand. It is only those who are so discerning that would remain loyal to the shop that is selling at a higher price and giving them the best. But those who don't mind, those who are not sensitive, those who can eat anything, will continue to go to the higher brands. And by the time danger strikes, by the time problem comes, they will not even connect what they ate to the health problem that they have. Now we've talked about source, that is either you stock from the same source or you don't stock from the same source. We've talked about specification, what actually goes into into the production before the attractive output that is cheap. Now they may not use the same packaging materials, even in pharmacy shops. There are some products that you buy and they've always been like that for a long time. The sealing has always been poor, and it is poor. Once you break the seal, then the liquid inside begins to mess up the body of the bottle. And I wonder whether nobody has complained to this company, and they have remained in the market for a long time, but the quality of their packaging has not improved. And people buy it probably because it's cheaper than other brands that will use packaging that will ensure the safety and that will ensure the quality, that would not be messy, that would not attract flies. People will use airtight packaging of high quality. Not everybody will look at that. Some people just want it cheap. And sometimes the cheap stuffs can kill. All right. They may not use the same packaging material. They may not spend the same amount on customer relations. For instance, you enter some shops and some salon. The moment you enter some salon or spa, they help you keep your shoes safe, and they give you Dunlop slippers or some simple comfortable slippers with a Dunlopy cushion that will make you enjoy the spa experience more than a place where they leave you in your high heel shoes that you came in with to walk about in the spa, where water may spill on the floor, where you may have to bend your head or raise your leg or lie down flat or whatever. So they may not spend the same thing on customer relations. Some people would have a front desk office where a receptionist is waiting to guide you to the department where you intend to visit. But some would just leave you to wander. There's no front desk, not to talk of a front desk officer who would connect you. Some will not stop at having a front desk officer. They will also have the intercommunication system, from whereas the receptionist can help you call the department from the front desk and inform the person you intend to see that you are at the reception waiting for them. They may come to pick you, or they may ask the receptionist to direct you. All of these would either increase or decrease the overheads of any business. So whatever you do, whatever your package incorporates, would determine your overheads. Now, I think I've gone past here, or maybe I have another question. So now, after considering all of this, after considering the fact that your overheads, your cost of procurement, and your markup, what you think should be your gain, after considering all of that, so what then is the ideal price to sell? Now, I just said it. Price is a function, a summation of the costs, that is the cost of production, plus overheads, the money you spend in running your business, plus markup, what you think your gain should be. And that is not the same for everybody. You may think your gain should be 10% after you've added costs and overheads. You may think your gain should be 10% of the addition of cost plus overheads. Somebody else may think that the gain should be the 25% of the addition of cost plus overheads. cost of procuring that thing plus the cost of running the business. You may think that addition, 25% of it, is okay. But let's continue, and you will see eventually what the ideal price should be. Let's consider 3 given entrepreneurs, each of who ordered 200 units of goods to sell. Madam Taiwo ordered 200 units of the item at 50,000 naira. And then when Madam Taiwo was traveling to procure these things, her friend Madam Jane was also traveling, and so Madam Jane's husband would have to transport Madam Jane to the source. And so because Madam Jane and Madam Taiwo are friends, Madam Taiwo requested to come in Madam Jane's husband's car, because Madam Jane's husband will be driving her down to the source, to the market. And so Madam Taiwo joined Madam Jane and didn't have to pay anything for transport. At that location where Madam Jane is going for business, our old classmate lives in the city, and so Madam Taiwo had requested to spend the night with our old classmate, and so the classmate also obliged to host Madam Taiwo in her apartment for the period. So Madam Taiwo didn't pay for hotel accommodation, but on her way she bought some bread and some other goodies for her friends' children and also for her friends. So at the end of the day, everything that Madam Taiwo spent on that journey, plus the she received help here and there, so everything she spent on that journey was 10,000 naira. Remember, she ordered 200 units of the article at 50,000 naira. She spent 10,000 naira on her journey, and that makes it 60,000 naira. And so she considers what she will pay for rent, what she will pay for her workers, what she would need to survive as an individual. She will need to feed, whatever. And so she thought, I have to add about 30,000 naira to this 60,000 naira so that I can survive and I can keep the business afloat. So the 50,000 naira for procurement, the 10,000 naira for running expenses, and the 30,000 naira gain equal 90,000 naira. In the case of Mr. Kende, that 90,000 naira for Madam Taiwo. Now let's talk about Mr. Kende. Mr. Kende ordered the same 200 units for 60,000 naira. Because when Mr. Kende got there, he discovers that there are 2 variants of the same product. The one that Madam Taiwo ordered is the lower grade, and there's another grade that is higher in specification than that. So Mr. Kende preferred the one that is higher in grade, and 200 of that is 60,000 naira. Mr. Kende didn't have a friend in that city, so he had to stay in a hotel, and for the period Mr. Kende spent 15,000 naira for accommodation, for feeding, for transport, for cargo, for everything. So Mr. Kende's expenses stood at 15,000 naira plus 60,000 naira, that is 75,000 naira. And then because Mr. Kende It's a bit I don't know, either considerate or somehow he just felt that 28,000 naira would be okay as markup. So 60,000 naira plus 15,000 naira plus 28,000 naira, which means Mr. Kende's um 200 units is stand at 103,000 naira. Remember, Madam Taiwo spends or values the 200 units at 90,000 naira. Mr. Kende values it at 103,000 naira. And now Chief Idowu is a third entrepreneur. Chief Idowu, because of his big rope and nice shoes, he traveled with his own driver. He's a chief, he traveled with his own driver in his own car, and on arriving at the place, the same quality that they sold to Mr. Kende at 60,000 naira, the higher grade, was offered Chief Idowu at 70,000 naira, because the company just believed that he's a big man and he should be able to. It was also 70,000 naira, but Mr. Kende bargained and eventually he got the 200 units at 60,000 naira. But Chief Idowu didn't have time for that, a big man, so he paid 70,000 naira. And then Chief Idowu couldn't sleep in the kind of hotel that was okay for Mr. Kende. He's afraid, he's a chief, he doesn't want to be kidnapped, he wants a safer place, and he wants some comfort because Chief Idowu is not familiar with that kind of environment where Mr. Kende slept. So he looked for something similar to what operates in his own house. And so instead of the 15,000 naira that Mr. Kende spent, Chief Idowu spent 37,000 naira as running expenses. And he puts his markup, what should be his gain, at 32,000 naira. So 70,000 naira plus 37,000 naira plus 32,000 naira come to 139,000 naira. Now all of them have 200 units of this item to sell. Madam Taiwo is having the lower grade, and his total value, the total value placed on the 200 item is 90,000 naira. Mr. Kende and Chief Idowu are having the same grade of the article, but Mr. Kende's bargaining power is better than Chief Idowu's bargaining power. So he got the 200 units of the higher grade at 60,000 naira. Chief Idowu's bargaining power is weak. He's not a skillful bargainer. So he got that higher grade at 70,000 naira for 200 units. And so the value of the 200 units for Chief Idowu comes to 139,000 naira. So for Mrs. Taiwo, if we divide 90,000 naira by 200, each article would be sold at 450 naira. For Mr. Kende, if we divide 103,000 naira by 200, each article should be sold at 515 naira. For Chief Idowu, if you divide 139,000 naira by 200, each article will be sold by 695 naira. And you know what? In the circle of friends of Chief Idowu, there are very comfortable people. Chief Idowu is a chief, and he has a lot of friends who are also chiefs. He has a lot of captains of industries who are also chiefs. He has well-to-do, highly placed people in a circle of friends, and they trust him because they know that he will provide the quality that they want. So by the time Chief Idowu had sold all of the 200 units that he procured, Madam Taiwo, who is selling at 450,000 naira, was yet to sell 50 units, which is 1/4 of the 200 units. So would you advise Chief Idowu to sell at 450 naira? If he does, he may not break even That is, he may not have any profit on that order. For Mr. Kehinde, would you advise him to sell it at 450 naira? Well, if he does, he may not have money to travel after that stock is exhausted. So, if Chief Idowu were not a chief, but he still spent the same amount that he spent, how do you think he would be able to sell in the same market with Madam Taiwo and Mr. Kehinde? Well, when your goods land at a higher price, don't be afraid. Remember that your primary goal as someone in business is to make profits. And remember too that the primary aim of your customer, of your client, of your consumer is to have satisfaction. Now, do you know that after patronizing Madam Taiwo for the first time, Madam Taiwo is selling each at 450 naira. Some may not even notice the problem, but some may discover that it's not the quality that they want. They may move to Mr. Kehinde. Some of Madam Taiwo's customers may move to Mr. Kehinde because Mrs. Taiwo's stuff didn't give them satisfaction. Remember that Mr. Kehinde has the same quality of article with Chief Idowu, so they will get that satisfaction. But Mr. Kehinde's environment may not be as peaceful, as comfortable, as relaxing, as presentable as Chief Idowu's premises. So each customer is looking for satisfaction. They may still go ahead. They may like the quality may be okay, but the presentation may be bad. The presentation may not be befitting. Mr. Kehinde may have the same quality as Chief Idowu, but the environment may be stinking, and so you are still not getting the satisfaction that you desire. So some of them who actually want satisfaction may move to Chief Idowu, who has the right quality, the right environment, the right staff with business place etiquette, staff with workplace etiquette, decent environment with conveniences. More people may move to him because that is where they have the satisfaction that they desire. Your concern then should be how to ensure that your customers have satisfaction by giving them value for their money. And these are the steps to ensuring customer satisfaction. 1. Strive to offer the best quality always, all of the time. Strive to offer the best quality. Secure a strategic location. Promote, advertise what you sell, tell everybody, give word out, let the news be everywhere that you are into that thing, and don't ever stop telling people, bringing your products to limelight. Don't ever, let it continue. The cost of advertisement will be worth your while at the end of the day. Make high quality your flagship, that is your main stock, your mainstay, your main concern, the thing that you project. What you are actually presenting is the good with the highest, with the best quality. But while you do that, you may keep a handful of the cheaper options, because if you don't show some customers the two options, they will not believe that what you offer them is higher in quality, because they have seen the lower quality at the cheaper price in the places that they have been to before at Madam Taiwo's shop. And until you place it side by side, some of them are not so keen to spot the difference or the differences. So make high quality your flagship, they make high quality product what represents your business, but you may keep a handful because of the doubting pharmacies. You may keep a handful of the cheaper options for comparison, for them to compare and see the difference, and to verify that what you are actually offering is better than what they had seen elsewhere. Be true. Don't ever mix the lower quality with the higher quality. Keep them aside and tell them, this is the best quality, I offer it for this price, and if you are not willing to spend as much as that, there is something that is not as good. Be true. Let them know that it is not as good, it is not as strong, it is not as solid, it won't be as durable, it is not as elastic, it is not as fine, it is not as bright, it is not whatever as your flagship product. But in case they need it and they don't want to go and save up to buy the real thing, and they are working they are working by budget, let them know, so that if they take it away and they do not get the satisfaction they want, they will know that you told them. They would know that you told them. Don't ever, because some business people will now bring the cheaper options and mix it, so, and they allow people to pick at random and they sell it at the same price. That will not be good for the image of your business. Allow people to follow their hearts. Don't force people to buy what they cannot afford or what they do not like. Just present what you have to them and tell them the truth about each thing. Don't pressurize or pressure them to buy the higher quality, and don't force the lower quality on them, because some will come in and when they see that what they had seen at Madam Taiwo's place is truly substandard, they realize that in your shop, and they would rather have the higher quality, but they are not prepared. They want to go and save up, or they want to go and get more money. Let them be. Let people be. Allow your customers to follow their heart. Let them buy what they love, not what you think they should buy. Now, number 7, believe in what you do. When you have chosen to stay with the better quality, and everyone around you is selling what will send people to their early graves, everyone around you is selling what is harmful to the people, to the unsuspecting people, and they are recording sales, there is customer traffic to their business address, don't worry about that. Just relax, because you want to remain true and you don't want to offer what you cannot consume to people. Relax. By the time they get disappointed by the cheap stuffs, they are coming back to you. They are all your customers eventually, if you tarry, if you stay, if you remain convinced that you are doing the right thing. Don't join the multitude to do evil. Don't give people tomato puree that you cannot eat. Somebody is gluten sensitive. Don't bake for them with gluten flour that has gluten in it when you know that it will affect their health. Charge them for gluten-free cake. And for those who thrive well on gluten, use the wheat flour or the gluten flour for them. They'll pay something different, and somebody who wants special flour will pay something different. But don't join the multitude to do evil. Do not bake with for people with gluten flour and tell them you have used almond flour, or you've used millet flour, or you've used whatever flour that is good for you. Don't lie to them. Be true. Believe in what you do, and at the end of the day, those who have suffered disappointment will look for the man or the woman who is true. experience or consume what you offer. Because by experiencing your product and services, by consuming your product, you know more about it. And when you are telling your clients about it, you can say things to them authoritatively. What you are saying to them is what you are sure of. It's not guesswork. You know what you are saying. And if they go to 200 places after your place, the truth will remain the truth. So you have to experience or consume what you offer. Be positive. Be positive. Don't fight people because they are not convinced the first time. Don't fight people because they do not believe you the first time. Don't get angry. It is just that the consumer is trying to maximize the resources at his or her disposal, and they want to be careful. So remain positive. Somebody who comes in today and considers your price high may return tomorrow when the truth is known. Be flexible. For instance, the Mr. Chief Idowu should sell a unit. I'm trying to look for the calculation. Chief Idowu should sell a unit at about 695 naira, and somebody comes in is having 690 naira, just 5 naira, and the person needs the thing urgently. You can let go of the 5 naira. Somebody else may come and give you 700 naira, and you tell them, oh sorry, I don't have 5 naira now, and the person may say, don't worry. That's the way it works. Some people may not even have 695 naira. Somebody may need it desperately and is having 680 naira. So there are also times you have to be flexible. Design special offers. You know that your thing arrived at a higher price than others because you insisted on the higher quality. Now what you can do is to design special offers that will still make people to come. You know that the actual price of the thing is 695 naira, but you are telling them, you are giving them for a week. You may say you are giving everybody who comes in to get it at 690 naira instead of 695 naira, and you also have to tell them more, emphasize the quality that they are getting at 690 naira to them, and upon the good quality they will have 5 naira discount. Be a master at it. That is, whatever you do, whatever you sell, whatever you offer, you have to continue to learn about it. You keep learning about it. You keep learning about it, so that when you talk about it, you are an authority. You are a force to reckon with. You are sure of what you are saying, and if they cross-check, what you have told them will remain the same. Offer supplementary services. There are banks who put candies in a bowl around the entrance, and so when you enter you pick a candy and you leave. There are banks who put water dispenser, and when you come in, you know that you have free water to drink. There are business premises that you enter and you are sweating because there's no ventilation, and there are business premises that you enter and you don't feel like going out because there's this solemn music issuing out from their system, and the place is so cool. So you have to design supplementary services, supplementary offers in addition to the main thing that you sell. Be calm and avoid arguments. That makes you respectable, because the primary aim is to sell, is to make sales, is to get commissioned. You want to get commissioned to do certain things for people. You want contracts. You are not there for petty arguments and petty talk and cheap quarrels. You are not there for. So some customers will come, they are very problematic, and they want to tell you that they've gone around the whole world and you whatever. Just remain calm and argument. Some of them would come back and apologize. Even when they come back, bringing friendship to you. Remain calm and confident, and you avoid arguments, because argument will only waste your time for nothing. Be flexible with loyal customers. You know, I said you have to be flexible before. Some people come in, they have hardship of wallets. Instead of 695, they have 600 naira, and you let go of the 5 naira. But apart from that, that could be anybody. Customers who have been loyal to you, even without them asking. There are times you just say, we return this to you because in appreciation of your loyalty. We sell it to everybody at this price, but because you are our loyal customer, a dependable ally, you believe in us, and so we honor you with this discount or with this gift, and all of that. Now, number 16, stand out by distinguishing your brand. And you can distinguish your brand in many different ways. If your friend is selling fried meat, you can sell fried peppered meat. If your friend is using ginger as seasoning, you can use a combination of ginger, saffron, mint, rosemary, fennel, and everybody would want to know the secret of the aroma that your fried meat presents, but they can't get to it because the combination is your secret ingredient. Protect your secret ingredient. That's actually the next point. For instance, there are standard cake flavors. You have lavender, you have vanilla, you have strawberry, and somebody wants to bake today, and the choice flavor is lavender. So when you eat that cake, you only smell lavender. Or if the choice flavor is strawberry, you smell strawberry. But somebody may go a step further and use a combination of lavender plus vanilla, from strawberry plus chocolate plus hazelnut plus macadamia nut. And so when the client takes a bite of the cake, you feel the passion fruit flavor coming through, you feel the strawberry flavor coming through, you feel the vanilla flavor coming through, and you can't actually place it on anything. All the bakers, except the one you reveal, even if another baker goes to combine flavors, it will not be the set of flavors that you have combined in your cake. So that remains your secret ingredient, and it's not anything that you toy with. You defend that because that's your selling point. Now, concentrate on growth. When they are busy attending parties, they are busy gossiping in the neighborhood, they are busy selling people whatever about you, you are busy improving on your brand. You are busy building your stock, because talk is power. That's a topic for another day. You are busy calling your clients who you have not seen for a long time. You are busy sending messages to people who have visited you in the past that you have new arrivals. You are busy giving your shop a facelift. You are busy improving your furniture. You are busy doing everything that will promote your business. So before you know it, the business is growing always, is growing continuously, and they are busy selling cheap and running to the running to parties, running to the eatery, running to the shop to enjoy the quick fixes, the quick profits. Because they are selling, they get carried away and they don't know that stock is power. That's a secret there. So benefit your customers. This is very important because you have concentrated on growth. So Madam Taiwo, who used to travel in her friend's husband's car, after 5 years is still begging them to please help her, to let her travel in their car. She's still begging her old classmate. She still cannot afford to pay for the hotel. She's still begging her old classmate, please, can I sleep in your lodge, in your house? And she's still ordering maybe 200 or sometimes 180 units, whereas Mr. Kehinde is still ordering 300 units But here is Chief Idowu, who is not listening to the noise, who was just busy concentrating, improving, doing facelift. Is now ordering 1,000 naira, 1,000 at a unit of article at a time. And you know what? By the time you order 1,000 units of article at a time, you will still sleep in one room on your business journey. You can't sleep in 2 rooms. So your overhead may still be 37 or 40,000 naira. And by the time you now divide your expenses over 1,000 as against 200 which you ordered the first time, you may discover that you may now be able to sell cheaper than Madam Taiwo, who is selling at 450. Maybe because of your large order. By the time you divide the total amount over the number of units ordered, you may now be able to sell at 420 naira. The better quality. Yes, that better quality. You may now all of a sudden, because you have labored so much, you have invested all of your energy, all of your mental resources, all of your physical energy, all of your time, all of your resources on this business. You have grown the business so well that you can order 1,000 naira, and all of a sudden they are still gossiping that look at her, she's selling at 450. Bang! You just come up one day with a bang, and men, that better quality that Madam Taiwo is now having, Chief Idowu is now selling it at 420 naira. That is when you are there. So at a time, 695 naira was your ideal price. But if you continue to labor and you continue to improve, you continue to grow your business, you will eventually enjoy the benefit of what they call economics of scale, because you are buying on a large scale. The price per unit will be so drastically reduced, because the expenses that will transport 200 units may just be a little less than the expenses that will transport 1,000 units. So they don't know what has happened and they get stranded. So the greatest lesson in this presentation today is that the business journey is an individual journey. Travel your lane and do what is ideal for you at every time. The price that is ideal for you yesterday may not be the price that is ideal for you tomorrow. You will eventually sell higher quality for the cheapest price, because at the end of the day, business, apart from giving you money, it's also service. Your aim is to make profit and to serve life. So if you are hardworking, if you are focused, eventually you will sell the best quality at the cheapest price. Thank you so much for joining us again on Business Rep. I'm grateful to my production assistants, Kayode, and my floor manager, Diana. My name is Bola Omotayo. See you again very soon. Bye for now.